said, Owen Benjamin tried to poison my lasagna. That's how you're going to try and diss someone in a wheelchair? By saying that the wind blew them over? That's your slight jab at me, buddy? Nice try. Must be nice to try and make, jokes like that. Found out about Owen Benjamin and the Unbearables. I can't remember exactly who told me about them. It might have been one of them who had reached out to me, actually. Long story short, in like March of 2018, I was looking to, of course, continue building the show, and I was looking for a group of networkers, kind of like-minded creative conservatives, and I was told about the Unbearables. I found out about Owen through the JRE podcast. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him comedically. Like, I thought he was okay, but he wasn't, great. But I kind of liked what he was doing with the whole, anti-trans kids thing. That really spoke out to me. And in the beginning, the Unbearables seemed to be a great network. People who were doing creative stuff like art and design and podcasting and video production, parody, songs, musicianship, in the case of Chuck Boris, and just late night streams, which was how I met the original DZ guys. Of course, John Neary was my first interview for the brief period of time I was with the Bears. But here's the thing, Owen's not even a conservative. He's a fucking leftist, posing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How dare you! Owen is doing the shit that mass shooters do before they go out and do a school shooting. Here's my manifesto. We need to get rid of the weak people, and I'm not saying he's going to be the one to do this.
An Australian man murdered his wife with a pair of scissors, stabbed her in the chest.
This is a warning to the general public about Owen Benjamin. We've warned you.
How dare you!
Must be nice.
According to him, the goat urinated on him first, in front of Amy.
all this gay talk is pissing off my German Shepherd.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live here. And just starting off immediately here, I apologize for the delay of an hour or so starting the show. But as it turns out, I had to take a personal call around like 9:30 when longer. A friend of mine has been going through holidays, and I did that, but it worked out fine. It's Thanksgiving weekend host, yes, and I hang on here, let me fix. Okay, there we go. It should be a lot more stable. Anyway, as I was saying, my computer was also doing updates and so anyway, without further ado though, we are here with a few minor delays, and hopefully the audio is a bit better. Anyway, my guest tonight will be Mr. Davy Crocko, aka Dr. Crocko. A lot of you guys know him and love him. He's a friend of the channel, and today he actually hosted an anti-mandate rally in Rochester, New York. And I guess the turnout wasn't as big as he expected it to be, but it was still pretty decent. So we're gonna talk to him about that. He should be coming on like around 11:20 or 11:30. So that's why I have the chat window popping up here already. So, anyway, but in the meantime, folks, I just wanted to take a moment to say I hope your guys' Thanksgiving was great. And I usually try and do a little video for you guys on Thanksgiving, or a little mini podcast. But as it turns out, I wasn't able to, partially because I had family in town for once this year, so I was actually pretty busy. But suffice to say, guys, I am thankful for each and every one of you who tunes into this podcast and watches this show live or listens to on audio. Wherever you are in the past, present, future hour, I really appreciate your support. Yeah, and hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to Warfist. Hello to Rachel Mary Wynn. And hello to Top Feed Coco, our mod. One of our mods. Is this a poultry stream? I mean, post Thanksgiving, I guess it kind of is. Top Feed. It's a Crocko stream though, for sure, as well. So anyway, yeah, I had family in town for Thanksgiving. And this was the first time in several years I had both my parents in town to celebrate Thanksgiving. My biological parents, that is, my mom and my dad. My parents got divorced when I was a kid, and so I would always split time with them during the holidays when I was a kid. And then I moved to Florida, and I've mostly spent Thanksgiving with my mom, and haven't really been out to Colorado for Thanksgiving in the last several years. I do go back for Christmas usually to Denver like every other year. But my dad actually came out to Florida and had Thanksgiving with me and my mother's side of the family, which to be honest, like, I was kind of nervous at first because I figured their divorce, their ex-spouses, and the last time I had Thanksgiving with both of them was when I was 8 years old, and they were going through the midst of their divorce, and things were not pretty then. Suffice it to say. And so, I didn't really think anything was going to happen. But it was kind of like weird and surreal having them like at the same table again for Thanksgiving, like especially after all these years. But it went splendidly, and they got along real well, and I wouldn't say they're friends, but they're friendly, towards each other. So, I guess time really does heal all wounds, or something to that effect. Hello to Saucin and to Sunny in the chat, and to Amazing Adam. Yep. Plot twist, Sammy's parents are getting back together. Hey, Mr. Whiskey. Well, it's funny that it's funny you say that, Mr. Whiskey, because the one thing I haven't really told anyone yet, at least not publicly, is that my dad actually just went through his second divorce this year, and it's done and over with. It's public knowledge, so it's done and over with. But I was doing that. I was dealing with that family drama for all of 2020 and 2021. I tried to keep it off the air, but it's done and over with. So the funny thing is, my dad is single, and I have my stepdad with my mom, and they've been married for close to 15 years. So I don't think my parents are gonna get back together, but I'm glad they're getting along well. Plus, I have two younger siblings with my dad too, two half siblings, much younger than I am, but few as buttons, if I do say so myself. So yeah, the holidays are officially upon us. I will have to ask Apex how he's doing for what he did for Thanksgiving once he shows up. So and of course, Saucin, I'm not mad at you. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving too, Saucin. Um I'll have to send you well, actually no, you can go into Chuck's Discord. And I hope Mr. Whiskey had a good Thanksgiving along with fell in a meadow. There's a question I want to ask Mr. Whiskey, but I can't ask it on stream. And oh yeah, oh yeah. Mr. Whiskey says Apex had Mexican. I'm sure he did in more ways than one, folks. Well, no, well, Top Feed Coco says Apex is a closet Mexican. Well, okay, so I know Top Feed is kind of familiar with the show lore somewhat. But what I'm not sure if he knows, I know a bunch of the regulars know this, but Apex has a Mexican girlfriend. So yeah, he has Mexican regularly. So yeah. I've had Cuban in more ways than one since I live here in Florida. Let me put it that way. Oh shit, Alan is in the house. Alan, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I uh Alan, first off, I need to know how many turkeys did you kill with your AR? Because like I have a hard time feeling that I have a hard time believing that like Alan bought his turkey in like a store. I think Whiskey probably hunted that motherfucker himself. Or you know what? What am I saying? Alan probably didn't even have Alan probably didn't even have turkey. He probably had like you know, a braised like steak or something like that because uh you know, he's fancy and shit like that. Um so let's see. Yeah. Well, yeah, he probably does kill them with his bare hands, sauce and so. And as far as you know, as far as Mercia's Thanksgiving is concerned, top feed, I don't, you know, I don't really care how his Thanksgiving went. You know, all I can say is I hope for him it went well. And you know, other than that though, I don't, you know, I don't care. John, Johnny, always good to see you. And let me message. Let's see, Crocko just messaged me, so let's see what he is doing. Okay, let me check something here real quick. Um. Uh. Oh, hey. Think. Let's see. Uh. Oh. Hey, Davey. How you doing? How you doing, sir? All right. Let me just unmute the audio in OBS here. All right, so you're on, and happy belated Thanksgiving, sir.
Oh, you as well. Thankful for the massacre of the Indians. Thankful for smallpox and all the rest.
Yep. You know, that's how colonization works. So,
Yeah.
uh, did you
Like
did you
power.
did you do anything you know, special for Thanksgiving itself, or uh you know, did you get together with any family or just have a quiet one?
I got together with family, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed myself a lot. So I'm just checking my OBS and checking my stream, make sure everything's working correctly. But everything should be okay.
Yeah, yeah, everything sounds good on my end. So, and this is just a really kind of casual stream. So, anyway, but as many of you guys may know, or may not know, Davey held an event today in Rochester, New York, and well, I don't want to, give too much, but David, what happened today? You were making waves on the internet today, sir.
Yeah. So, what was cool was that 11 o'clock last night, I see Ethan Ralph. Just give me 2 seconds here.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Trying to make sure if my buffering was unbearable on my end or if it was like manageable. But I don't have to stream, so it doesn't really matter because I can record it, which is fine. So yeah, so last night, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I see Ethan Ralph tweet. I thought he was having a conversation about weather, like general weather. He said something about you don't know cold unless you know Rochester, New York. I'm thinking, well, Ralph's from Louisiana, right? Like, is he talking about Rochester? I just hit him up and I'm like, spent time in Rochester. He's like, I'm there right now. It ended up being pretty cool that he shared out immediately and then came through and to the protest. Showed up with his fiance, which was super cool.
So, did you have? So, how did this protest come about, and how did you? Were you planning this long term, or was this kind of a shorter term plan thing?
I would say 3 to 4 months. I planned it. Um, Problem is, I had a lot of support in the streaming community. But everybody that's a streamer might have one or two people that live in Rochester, New York. Uh, I tried for local support. I got as much as I could, but it wasn't the best. So, I'm not gonna come out here and lie to anybody. I live streamed everything. It was a dud of a protest. Other than just talking the talk, I walked the walk, and
Yeah,
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with telling my subscribers what I was gonna do, asking for money to help me out with a thing that I could obviously handle. I just want to bring this up. I've seen people that are gonna do protests and put like $1,000 to $2,000 GoFundmes up for things that cost me probably $300-$400.
yeah,
It's just like, and it's just not cool. Like, I had some really cool people that helped me out. They were like, "Well, we're just gonna throw you support just cause." But I didn't go out there and say, "Hey, I need money," or "This protest can't happen." Like these kind of coercion tactics that people do. Uh, just the best thing ever.
yeah. Well, I've kind of I've kind of tended to notice that these bigger protests, the ones that like get planned out in advance, they always seem to have like feds involved or some sort of shady bullshit attached to them. Like, the January 6th, rally that was like really planned and promoted. Like that was a total honeypot, just waiting to, and people were just waiting for shit to pop off, and obviously it did. And like I remember, like I was telling people not to go, to DC because I kind of thought that bad shit was gonna happen, and lo and behold, it did. So like obviously, yeah, your event was a lot smaller, and it might not have, gotten the numbers you wanted, but in a way, the fact that it kind of, I guess, flew under the radar and people couldn't really fuck with it, was a good thing. So
Yeah, and it's all cool, man. Like I said, I dipped my toes in. I learned some things. I learned, and people came up to me with business cards of how to get connected locally because I was going with like Facebook anti-mandate groups, Twitter anti-mandate groups local to my area. But someone put me on to don't call them that on Facebook and Twitter, and someone mentioned MeWe and other platforms. Don't say anti-mandate; they'll label it something else. Everybody in the group knows what it is. There's, you know, 5,000, 10,000 people in these groups that are local to this area. So if I would have known that in advance, more people would have came out. Also, it was like 29 degrees that played a factor into it. Um, but yeah, I look at nothing of the whole day as a failure because I did what I said I was gonna do. I promised everybody I was gonna do it. I was there an hour early. I stayed 30 minutes after the time limit, just in case if anybody showed up. I had 20 signs extra for people. I had beverages. I mean, I went all out to do this. So, uh, someone said in my chat, no fail, tremendous, great attitude and great work. Yeah, I just kept a good attitude all day. Like no matter what happens, if
yeah,
if I'm Alex Jones without a bullhorn, like I'm fine.
yeah. I mean, like, I've had local events like, here in Sarasota, and Florida's not really. I mean, there aren't any mandates here really. But like I've had smaller events like for the college Republicans here, and yeah, I mean sometimes people don't show up, but like even if you get like 4 or 5 people, sometimes those small events are better than nothing. So yeah, small events are better than nothing. I now the one thing that was kind of funny to me, I don't know if you showed this, but you had the no tyranny sign, and I believe that people were flipping you off or something. Even with that, when I tuned into the live stream, they were.
Yeah, anti-tyranny, anti-mandate was the sign that I used because again, first time I'm not going out and saying they're killing your which I believe that they're killing your children, and I'm against the shot and all my things in my head. I wasn't gonna write that on a sign to push people away. I wanted people to engage with me. Uh, so I
Yeah,
just put up the anti-tyranny, anti-mandate. I thought was a simple sign because I mean I know there was people walking by that have lost their job because they didn't take the vax are still against me, which
yeah,
is just the most bizarre thing ever. Uh, a lot more people honking the horns in support. I have 3 live streams from the event. It's obvious there was more support, people driving by and walking by, than the people that just flicked me off, which is fine. That's their totally fine with me. If they don't agree with that I'm anti-mandate and anti-tyranny, then that's fine. Got it. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Isn't it kind of funny though? At least it's kind of funny to me that like they automatically, assume that by anti-tyranny you mean anti-vax, which I mean I guess is true, but you didn't say that, so it's funny to me that they just automatically assume that now. So
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people in the so-called truth community. I'm not anti-vax. I'm just against this one. Well, I'm against many of them. I'm against, filling up a born child with a lot of different chemicals. Just don't think it's right. Um, my friend just had a baby, and they asked if they wanted to get the. I want to make sure I have it right. For like it's like a shot for like teens when they're starting to get sexually active, HZT, something like this.
yeah.
Um, and they asked my friend like, "Do you want to give your baby this shot?" It's like, no, she's a newborn. She's not going to be sexually active, so we'll go. Like, well, we're not going to get that shot.
Yeah, no, it's weird because when I applied to go to college a couple of years ago, like they were asking me if I had my like meningitis shot or whatever, and I said no, and they were like, well, why haven't you? And I'm like, because I don't you know I don't need it. I'm not really in contact with anyone who's had it, and yeah, I mean a lot of these vaccines are just, and I've talked about this with Semper Reloaded before as well. A lot of these vaccines are just really weird, and then like every year or so, I believe Johnson and Johnson, like they uh they bar like 1,000 prescription prescription drugs that they've previously prescribed, or the FDA does. Uh, excuse me, but yeah, it's weird. Oh, who do we have? Who do we have in chat now?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hi, fellas. How you doing?
We're doing good. I think Davey is. He said he's having issues with his stream right now. Oh, he says he froze.
Well then.
So
Well, while he figures that out, how you doing, Sammy? I see you're on the top of some fucking dystopian skyscraper for some reason.
yeah. So I found out that in Discord's latest update, you can do green screen effects with
Ooh, neat.
with Discord's latest update. And since everyone is doing like the new wave cyberpunk thing,
May as well jump on that bandwagon, huh?
yeah,
Now that's been a thing for like 6 years.
yeah,
I'm just kidding, man.
I was going to try and upload the American flag like background or something, but I couldn't find it.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you're back.
Hey, what's up, man?
You're back.
Yeah, I had some computer issues, so I'm just going audio or phone.
That's
Bro.
fine. I'm recording this, so if you want me to, I can I can send you the video file of this afterwards if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love that. I rushed back. My computer needs like loving and caring, and needs to needs like a good 15 minutes to warm up. I rushed back from my last stream, and it was just a little too much for it to handle. So no big deal. We're here.
Yeah,
I'm back. We're good.
yeah. OBS can kind of get finicky sometimes. Mine is a bit newer, but even so, um, OBS can even get finickier on mine sometimes.
Well, it's my computer, and I also have one being sent to me right now. A gaming a gaming streaming computer.
Cool.
From one of my subscribers. We came to an agreement, and I'm getting that,
Davey's
and I'm
pretty
not,
loud.
and it's not breaking the bank. So I can also, I'm thinking Christmas bonus, actually go all in on a real deal, like next level. This is the next level of my streaming. Great computer with no problems.
Nice.
Yeah, because that's all it is. Like, I mean, buffering is my only issue. Every once in a while it happens, and it sucks for like, especially if a new person's in the chat and stuff like that. Like, that sucks. Like, you don't want them to like experience that.
Yeah, shit
So
happens, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, shit happens. So we were talking about the event. I don't know
Yeah,
how far.
I missed most. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't get to hear any of it because I was late from work. But so yeah, wherever you feel necessary to start from, or wherever's relevant. How did it go?
Well,
What's your overall take?
overall take was first time learning a lot. First time, maybe do it a little bit earlier when the weather's nicer, or do it in the spring. Uh, Learn how to network locally a little better. Does that sound on my end or your end?
It's probably Sam's fan. It's always
Yeah,
Sam's fan.
I tend to have fan issues with mine sometimes. Okay, I think
Oof.
yeah, mine shouldn't be as bad now. But anyway,
Yeah, so just a learning experience, like no big deal. Not a lot of people showed up. Had a few people with signs, had a lot of people honk and show support, had some people flick me off. Uh, and at the end of the day, I had two people pull over and hand me business cards of how to network locally, and had a guy that actually showed up with signs who gave me a card of certain groups that I want to get involved with that are in the thousands. And as I told Sam, they don't label themselves anti-mandate or anti-anything. They're just these Rochester, New York groups that assemble every now and then. Some people do it every week. Like there's a weekly protest outside of some of these hospitals and medical facilities because, as you guys know, people have been getting fired over the mandates. Um, and this is a big issue to me. Like I really care about this issue. I really care about. I want to be safe on your show. What this thing is
Mhm.
doing to everybody, the thing that they poke into, what it's doing to people. Um, their obsession with getting to younger and younger people uh, is disgusting. Uh, 5 to 11-year-olds. By the early 2022, Fauci said 2 to 4-year-olds. and then toddlers and babies would be next. 6 months old, they've already started the trials, which means they're going for basically at birth. They want you to have this mandated as a shot along with the other 50 or so shots they already put into you.
Right.
So
Can I just to back up a little bit? Can I ask like what was your like what did you envision for this little event? Did you want people to like gather? Was that like the goal, or were you? I mean, were you trying to like pass out information, or like just a general kind of protest? Just
just a
hoping.
general public assembly,
Yeah, I saw your.
anti-mandate,
Yeah, I saw the posters.
anti-mandate protest. Do you feel forced? Like, are you feeling forced in any situation that you need to get this thing to keep your job, to keep your life, to keep your children? Did you lose your job because of this? I thought this would spark a lot of interest. Are you worried about your children's future? Just things like this, just things that I thought on a human level people would respond to. But again, 2 days after the holiday, the weather, the I tried my best. I had some local networking, but not enough, and just not as many people showed up as I would have liked. But nothing is a failure because it's a first time thing. I dipped my toe in. Well, I went all in, but I spent all the money myself, and I I just tried to put on an event.
Yeah, as long as you're
I'd
learning,
say
man. But uh-oh,
I would have loved 50.
roboted a
I
little
look
bit
at
there. I'm sorry. What'd you say? You roboted a little bit there. That last sentence.
I would have loved 50, like 50 people showing up,
Right.
but
But I guess I guess the a little more pointed question was like if someone showed up and like asked you further questions, if it turned out well and like 100 people showed up and were looking to you for like, some sort of you know what I mean? Like what would have happened then? You know what I mean? Did that even cross your mind? I mean, obviously you hope
yeah,
for people to show up.
I would gauge that person's knowledge by the question they asked me and answer accordingly. Like if I know someone's on the level and they know what I think I know, then I'm going to talk to them as I would talk to people on my stream. If they're generally curious about like what is this all about and they've been living under a rock, then I'm gonna have to slowly explain to them and not overwhelm them with what I
Yeah,
actually.
I guess
Yeah.
my point was that some info, some easily or maybe not easily, but somewhat easily consumable like pamphlets or breakdowns of, the stuff you were talking about, what the plans you see for futures of vaccines and what it means for their children,
Yeah, I think
that
in
sort of
the
thing.
next protest, also with the flyers, I could have. I mean, by spring, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. We're at the point where they're dropping a new scariant literally every day to scare people. Like, what is it now? Omicron?
Yeah, I'm
That's,
still bummed.
that's
I still think we're gonna circle back around to Gamma, and Gamma's gonna be the one to end it all. That'll be the
if
Gamma variant.
only. I mean, just
Yeah.
if I die of the gamma variant, I just
Yeah.
want on my tombstone, Vox Day, you won.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
You win, faggot.
yeah, you won, man. I can't take that away from you. You fucking won. But
So, um,
Omicron was their newest one, which is an anagram for moronic. Um, just in case if you guys didn't know that.
sure, sure. I
Um,
did see. I hate to throw like a wedge in there, but I did see you had one attendee, one Ethan Ralph, huh?
yeah, and I told this story a little earlier, but if Sam doesn't mind, I'll tell it again.
Go ahead.
Um, last night, Ethan Ralph puts a tweet up about weather, saying you don't know cold unless you know Rochester, New York cold. And I'm thinking in my head, Ralph lives in Louisiana. So I actually talked to him last week because he was going to come on if he had time. It was a last minute thing. He was going to come on my stream like 20 minutes after the Waukesha parade thing. And we were just going to give our takes immediately what we think happened. So we've been in contact. So I messaged him saying like, have you spent time in Rochester? Like, was that just a random post? And he says, no, I'm in Rochester right now. I'm currently like in Rochester. And I said, that's crazy. I'm having an event in Rochester tomorrow. If you could just like, post to your following that I'm having this event, I would absolutely be appreciative. And he said, not only that, I'll show up, I'll come to your event, and nice guy, man. Like, I know people get a lot of hate and people have a lot of hate towards him for this isn't my business, whatever happened between those people.
Sure,
But
sure,
to
sure,
me,
sure.
nicest guy. Showed up, spent 45 minutes in the freezing cold with him and his fiance. Showed support, shouted me out many times on Twitter, made sure people were following it. So
Cool, man. Cool. Now,
yeah,
if I may ask, because I have to, I see there's some talk about the height because Ethan Ralph's height is, that's a meme in of itself. You two appear to be pretty close to the same height.
yeah, I'm 5'10".
Hmm.
So
And were you standing off a curb by chance?
no, that was just an even. That was just an even shot. And I saw like right after that, he told me about this, and then right after that, I saw a post about some. I think it's from like a jail report that they listed him as 5'1", is where the information came from.
Yeah.
Um, and like I just don't care about arguing with people about Ethan Ralph's
No, no, no,
height.
no. I'm
Like,
just, again, I had to ask, because I'm just an enjoyer. I don't go after anybody, but I do laugh at everybody, including
yeah,
myself. You know what I mean,
yeah.
so I just have to, you're here, so I got to get the questions out.
Well, it might be
Uh,
blasphemy. It might be blasphemy for that I'm here, but
it
it's
might
not.
be actually,
No, it's actually
because
not. Uh, I just like to say one thing, like
please,
as far as that whole situation, like everything is totally cool. There's never any situation where between myself and that person that we care about who we talk to. Like if I talk to somebody, that doesn't mean like we both know that doesn't mean it's a endorsement of what you guys are talking about him.
sure, he who shall not be named.
Well, most people
You're talking about Mersh,
I
right? Because we had a little Smurfs recently, and you and him are cool. And
yeah,
honestly, I don't have any problem with Mersh either. I just
it's
think he's really
all
fun to
fine.
laugh at.
Like me coming
Yeah.
on the show has nothing to do with like any of that,
Sure. You don't
Sure.
and like
endorse what we do, and
he knows
yeah,
that,
good.
I know that, and it's just like this funny thing that people, not you, but people try to use it as like this third degree of separation, beef. There's going to be infighting. They just try to start all these things, and
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
there's really only a few of them, and like they're. I feel bad for a lot of these people because they all follow me. I
Yeah.
don't follow any. I don't know. Other than Pod Awful, I don't know any of these people. Like they're just nameless, fameless losers that just like. Now that the dislike button is gone, I feel really bad. Like I don't even know what they're gonna do.
Oh,
Well,
don't worry. Chat always wins, man. They'll
yeah.
they'll find a way.
I
You
mean,
They
know.
don't even come in the chat. They don't even come in the chat and like try to say anything. They just hit the dislike and bounce.
Right.
I
And,
mean,
and
All
I'm just
right.
like, do you,
So
man?
there was one other meme question. Oh yeah. I honestly I saw that picture, and I don't even know where I saw it of you and you and Ethan, and I didn't even realize that it was you because you kind of look like a fucking homeless man, bro. What the hell are you wearing? I mean,
Well,
no offense, like for real, but you did kind of look, you know, like if you were running. I don't know. I mean, I didn't expect you to be in like a 3-piece suit or nothing, but I was.
well, it was like
Shit, that's Davey.
30. It was like 30 degrees. I mean, I
Yeah, no, no, no.
wore I
Yeah,
wore
I'm
an
sorry.
American Eagle coat and like a pair of like Dickies pants, like nice, like
It didn't help that your zipper was open in that picture too, though. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's just the aesthetic, bro. I know you're not homeless. It's just just a
we
joke.
got Levi Strauss working pants and like a very expensive jacket, but somehow it looked maybe it's like maybe it's
May-
like the new fashion where things look old or look shabby, but they're
Yeah,
actually expensive.
yeah, right. Like the
But
fucking like back in the early, mid knots when it was, the most expensive jeans were the ones with the most rips in them, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Or you could just rock some Jenkos.
Oh, that was a little, yeah, for sure. Let's see, that's a little further back,
If you
but
needed the extra pocket space.
well, that's
Yeah.
cool, man.
But yeah,
I'm sorry you didn't get a better turnout, but I'm glad you learned from it. That's what's
dude,
important. It's never, like you said earlier,
nothing was
it's never a failure
nothing
as
was
long as you learn. As long as you learn.
nothing was a failure because everything I said I did. Like if I lied or did anything like underhanded, then that would be fucked up. But I did everything I said I was gonna do, and I was there, and
Props to it, man. Yeah. More than
yeah,
a
I
lot of people
appreciate
do,
it.
that's for sure.
I
You
mean,
know,
I talk
people
a lot of talk on my streams about agendas. That's what my whole stream is about. I'm not a drama channel. I'm a conspiratorial slash looking at the future agendas slash sometimes current events that I think will lead to agendas. That's what my
Sure.
channel is about.
Yeah.
So so I talk a lot of talk, and I figured it's time to walk the walk.
yeah, man, you gotta start somewhere. And
Yeah,
for sure.
I, I
Well,
think I I think the spring is going to be the next one. Wait for some good weather.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've been to New York, like 8 times in my life, and I know the weather in New York can be really weird too. Like it can snow in the spring at times. So I mean, the thing about
Because it's basically purgatory.
yeah, the thing about Florida is that you can do events year round, and so that's it's a bit different that way. Um,
Yeah, which is like, I mean, it's all good, man. Like everyone showed love. Everyone was cool. The honking was cool. Had a couple people flip me off just because they felt the need to. Uh, and this is a very liberal area I did this in. Purposely, I did this in a liberal area. Um, so as I'm an hour early going to the event, I still have
Damn, you're
my
a
fly.
fan.
I'm going up to people at restaurants or that are walking up the street and asking them if they'd like to attend, and like just the looks on their faces, they were like saddened or maddened that I would even approach them with such a question. Like, how dare you? How dare you even be on this street right now thinking you're gonna have an event? Like, had a couple
What?
people crumple up the poster in front of me, which was cool.
Ooh.
yeah, I had something similar happen like 2 years ago at my college. I had a free speech event that was just like I was asking people to come out, just talk like free speech, and the idea of that just really angered people for some reason. It's weird because Like, I wasn't really pushing, like, you know, a lot of people know my views, but even so, I was just like, hey, here was a free speech event for all of us, and people still got upset. It's very weird how tribal people can be at times.
Yeah, you were saying this is my free speech. It's like you're just saying this is a free speech event. Like, so you guys will have equal chance for your free speech as well. And yeah, people can't handle it. And this is all part of Jesus Christ, getting messages. This is all part of the propaganda that they've been working on for, I mean, decades, but especially since the Trump era to label certain words as a political side. So free speech is all of a sudden conservative.
It didn't
Or
used to be. That was a liberal talking point when I was growing up.
and right to assemble, it just means what you're assembling about, then it has to be political. If you're Black Lives Matter, then your right to assemble is just, lauded. But if you're assembling for an anti-mandate protest, it's not. And these are just things that we have to deal with. I just went into it saying, like, I don't really give a fuck what happens. Like, I'd love a lot of people to show up. I didn't want to see like a Rochester chapter of Antifa there. I didn't want to see a like LGBT fed Proud Boys group there. I just didn't want to see those kind of people.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess the core of my question was like, when it comes to like trying to reach out to people, sometimes you got to adjust your approach. I
Yeah.
mean, for sure, like you mentioned earlier, like depending on who you're talking to, you'd adjust how you spoke to them. But you need a sometimes it's a broader appeal type thing. Well, who's this?
Yeah,
Really?
and I thought I did a good job instead of, I mean, like not to rehash it, but like, I mean, I said freedom of assembly, no violence, no harassment. Please don't trespass. You know, be kind to your fellow person. Don't go on private property. Like, I was like, and I called it anti-mandate. Like, I didn't go anti-vax. I didn't go like things that I really know that are happening. I didn't put those on the flyer. So I thought that was a neutral, not neutral, but I thought that was a non-abrasive poster.
This is the Whitfield report. I thought it was the Whitfield report. My mistake.
Well, you know, some people confuse me with John Wick on occasion, Kenny. But,
No, I didn't say Wick. I said Whit, like the Whitfield report.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
that is.
well, yeah.
What's up? Who is this person? Hi, Long Brain TV.
I'm Chem TV. That's right.
This
Oh,
is
okay. What up, man?
from Ian Ellis's universe.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, brother?
So, man.
Oh, hell yeah. So, what were we talking about? I mean, I know what we were talking about, but something I was trying to say. Dave. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Well,
Go ahead, Sam.
we were talking about like how the left and the right have both kind of claimed different areas of issues that used to not be political at all, which, you know, is something that's like what's weird to me is that, like, I mean, it's not weird, but like you can't even agree to disagree anymore and walk away. Like, I have like I have a cousin who literally disowned me after 2016 because I voted for Trump and Trump won. And then when Biden won, she tried to she decided to take me back or whatever, and I'm like, nope, sorry, you shouldn't have disowned me in the first place or something
Yeah, that's right. You
like
can't just disown somebody. That's right.
it's but it's shit like that that's just weird that wasn't it didn't used to be that way. Like people used to be able to agree to disagree and just move on with shit.
I would have told my cousin, no, you. I'm
So,
disowning you.
I
That's right.
I should have.
Mhm.
I did not ask you back how your Thanksgiving was. Did anyone experience any family drama?
No, there's only 2 family members, so no.
Good, because I've heard from a lot of people on my Discord that were uninvited because of everything.
Yeah, I don't have any family, so
Wow.
I spent the day drinking. I made myself a bacon egg sandwich at like 9 in the morning, and then I drank beer all day and was sad.
No turkey? Not even
No,
turkey
nothing. Literally
sandwich?
nothing. No, literally
I
nothing.
would have had turkey sandwich with some of that beer and wine.
No, nothing. And I was very upset, or I was very sad about it. My body was very upset with me, I should say, both later that evening and the next day.
I would have had a joint with that drinking
Oh,
also.
I had plenty of marijuana to go with it,
I'm
but
just saying I would have had other things too. What is that static?
I had kratom. I had a diet of kratom, beer, and marijuana and water.
Yeah, but
Lots of
you
essential.
shouldn't drink with kratom. It's bad for you, extremely.
It's probably bad for you.
Right.
Most
Kratom is
things.
bad for the liver. Drinking on top of that is really bad.
Outstanding.
I actually, for the first time in a long time, I explained this at the beginning of the show, but my parents who are divorced actually both were actually both in town. Well, my mom lives here in Florida anyway, but my dad came out from Colorado to see me with my 2 half sisters and spent Thanksgiving with us. So, and I
That is awesome.
and I thought that I thought that shit was going to go down because that they're exes, and also they're on opposite sides of the political aisle. So I was expecting at one point for things to kind of go off, but they surprisingly never did. So I guess they've both kind of softened or matured, depending on how you look at it, in their old age. So that's good at least. So
Hell yeah, brother.
Sometimes it makes me wish it was the days of the Beatles when things were more simple. People didn't really, and politics weren't everywhere.
Yeah, dude, in every fucking thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the old trope of politics at the table during Thanksgiving has been a thing since I've been alive. And I feel like it's been a thing in movies since before, you know what I mean, that were made since before I was alive. But yeah, it's literally everywhere. You cannot get away from it. Only big brain people that are can avoid talking about it. Those are the ones you keep in your life.
I'm
The
just
long
saying,
brains.
I'm just saying that maybe they'll wake up one day.
yeah,
Maybe.
I'm talking about the woke liberals and the Trump cultists.
Yeah.
well,
Tell me about it.
Well, and I mean like that. So I mean like that's the other weird thing is I voted for Trump, but was he perfect? No, I mean
I'm just saying, do you think he's God? Yes or no?
Do
The
I?
God Emperor.
I mean, sure. For trolling purposes, yes.
Well, no,
I
he
mean,
asked if you thought he was
no,
God. I
no, I'm saying
obfuscated by calling it
I
God
don't
Emperor.
mean for trolling purposes. I mean, do you think he's God? Period.
Yeah, like the second coming.
No.
Then you're not in a cult. That's right.
I mean, I
None
mean,
of these
I don't know.
none of these people run anything, guys. Like,
I'm just saying, I've talked to some of these people that think he's God, and these are fucking crazy people. And you think you've met some crazy people.
well, I mean, I can elaborate on it because I spent a year and a half researching what QAnon was and what the psyop was, and there was a lot of talk about
See,
he.
hold on, time out, time out, Davey, time out. Seriously, before you go any further, kind of what I was getting at earlier is that research you're talking about. You need to find out ways to put that into consumable points for regular people. You know what I mean? Maybe not
Yeah.
QAnon necessarily, but that's the kind of shit that I think will help. If
People
you,
like me. I'm regular people. Yeah.
Well, I have a 2 hour stream with Adam Green of No More News where he went point by point through it. So
well, right, but normal people don't watch streams, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you could condense that into the real world type shit. You know what I'm saying? The people you meet on the street and find that
I watch
find ways.
streams sometimes. It depends what it's talking about.
I'm not gonna get on the street and talk about QAnon.
No, of course not. I wouldn't either.
I mean, so
Unless you're making fun of it.
I don't think Apex was meaning like QAnon necessarily.
No,
like,
no. Yeah,
But like
yeah. Go ahead.
talking with people about like vaccines. Like one of the things that like I always talk with people about is like I'm not anti-vaccine because I'm a conspiracy theorist necessarily. I'm more
can I just really quick?
sure.
The COVID shot isn't a vaccine.
Well, yeah, obviously not. It's that it's DNA therapy, but
Yeah.
the normies, they don't know that. So like I've always, and this is the other weird thing is like I've always had kind of bad reactions to the flu vaccine. So ever since I was like a teenager, I never got it, and it was never like a problem for anyone that I didn't get it. Like in fact, like some people were like, I get it, like it's cool. But then when the COVID, thing happened, like everyone was like those same people who were cool with me not getting the flu vaccine were all of a sudden like, you need to get the COVID, vaccine. But they couldn't give me like a good reason why. And Apex and I have talked about that on here before.
Ad nauseum.
Yeah. Yes.
If something was one, I don't believe in the actual virus itself. I think there was multiple different forms of the flu that came out of multiple different labs. That's why you're seeing the jab not working, and that's why they're on their fourth and fifth, and then the booster, and then you have to take a daily pill, and it's just not working because they had so many different forms of viruses that they put into people, like a like when you get
Bro,
a flu shot.
Yeah, right, exactly. The flu
There's
shot.
there's last year's flu, so it's like a
They try to
20%
predict.
chance of helping you.
They try to predict the next year's flu with the flu shot. It's been that way for decades. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
so with the
hundreds of
mRNA
versions.
shot, this is strictly manipulation of DNA. This is compromising your immune system for something they tell you is an immune problem. Uh, it's similar to HIV in the 80s and 90s, where people were dying. Gay people. You know,
Well, and even then,
Holy
Fauci.
Jesus
Oh, sorry.
Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Hold on,
Is that too
Charlie.
long? Oh,
Charlie, stop talking. Please stop talking for
sorry.
just a second, because you just blew everyone's fucking eardrums out. Sam,
Okay.
give me about 10 seconds to turn it down.
Yeah,
I can turn it down. I'm like 6 feet
There
away
we
from
go.
my microphone.
There we go.
Yeah,
There
so
we go.
so
Is it
Sorry.
better?
Yeah.
in the
Holy
80s,
fuck.
the 80s, early 90s, Fauci was involved in this.
Yeah, that's
and-
what I was going to say. Fauci was doing that. He was in
Okay.
charge of the whole thing.
Okay. So what they did was they had a drug called AZT that sat on the shelves. It was a cancer treatment from the 1960s. They go, well, we need a use for this. Let's use this on the gay population with unproven HIV turning into AIDS, which killed more people than it helped because the HIV already compromised your immune system and the AZT compromises your immune system. It's a very similar action to what we're seeing now, and that's why you're seeing vaccine deaths.
All right. Well, just out of an abundance of caution for little old Sammy's channel, let's not go too far into that, type of shit.
No,
Just-
I was just I came in just saying that Fauci was the one who was blamed for the AIDS hysteria. That's what happened back in the late 80s, early 90s. That was his fault because he hyped it up. Just like now,
that
they
is
keep hyping the shit up.
that is very much true, Charlie, and I'm glad that you brought that up because like I know people who are gay conservatives, and they've tried to bring that up, and they've gotten banned from like social media for bringing that up, and anything.
Yeah. Johnny brings up a good point. Fauci killed a bunch of gays in the 90s. I mean, what's the problem?
Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't just that. It was to get this to the level of injecting this into someone. They're testing these on children. They're testing these on unwilling participants that have nothing to do with HIV.
Oh yeah, and I agree with that. That's bullshit that they're doing this Omicron thing. It's to get it. Oh, children are way more affected by Omicron. Oh, okay. it's bullshit.
Well, there's a list, and it came out in 2020 of the variants that will come out up until February of 2023.
I would assume that there's just going to be tons of variants, quote unquote variants, that are going to keep coming out, and they're going to keep trying to lock people down over and over and over again to get Amazon. Amazon's doing great. Hey, who gives a shit, right?
But they have them all. They know exactly which variant and when they're gonna drop it.
I don't even know if it exists. My mom had
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
I know, but I'm saying that my mom had COVID and she eats like shit and is horrible to her own body, and she's doing fine. It's like she's in her 60s. It's ridiculous. I don't.
Yeah, in no way am I saying any of this exists. What I'm saying is they have a full calendar.
It doesn't, I guess. Yeah.
They have a full calendar mapped out of the hypothetical variants that are going to be coming, and Omicron means
Omicron Persei 8. That's the Futurama.
Yeah, that's Futurama, dude. Omicron ruler of the planet Omicron Persei 8.
What was the nuggets that they ate during
Oh,
Futurama?
poplars. Poplars.
Yeah,
poplars.
Omicron Persei 8.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's hilarious. And by the way, Crocko, I love your show, by the way. I don't think we've talked before, but
Oh, thanks.
Ooh.
I appreciate it.
Fan meeting the creator. Look at that. Sammy bringing people together.
I know. I like Crocko.
Yeah, we'll
Listen,
see.
Crocko's all right. He's all right. You know what I mean? He's an all right guy.
Yeah. And,
sometimes. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Well, and I do want to say this. You know, people give you know, Crocko crap for having, you know, good interaction with Ethan Ralph, but for what it's worth, people still give me shit for interviewing Ben Shapiro, and that was.
Are you kidding? Who wouldn't interview Ben Shapiro? That'd be hilarious.
Sammy, I love how you do that name drop like you're like, oh, I'm so ashamed. I know people give me a hard time for this huge name that everybody knows that I interviewed this one time.
I take shit for talking to Joe Rogan. I can't believe I talked to Joe Rogan.
You know, people give me a hard time because Joe Rogan interviewed me that one time and gave me some elk meat. But
listen, if Joe Rogan were to invite me on the show,
I bet he would.
First off, I'm taking Apex and Johnny with me. That's gonna happen. And
if I were ever to go to a Joe Rogan, I'd be drinking a lot like Doug Stanhope.
Oh yeah. Well,
Stanhope.
But what
we're gonna do that?
But what?
Or like more recently, Shane Gillis, who drank, I believe, 10 beers on his.
12 Bud Lights is not that.
Well, yeah.
Well, but what I was gonna say is, I would just like suddenly start like giving, I would just like suddenly like be like, so have you checked out Porcelain's documentary on Owen Benjamin? And just
actually, I might ask him about the beige frequency thing. Is what I probably would ask him about. Hey, I know, you know, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Davey's sharing his screen. Cool.
Yeah, so that just shows advanced Mu variant, the Omicron variant, and they're going ahead of schedule right now because of V deaths. And they want to make sure that they can blame it on the variants where the deaths are coming from. But
yeah,
they have.
I'm just wondering which states are they gonna like lock down again? Is what I see happening. New York, obviously.
New York. I have a county about an hour from me that just went back into full lockdown.
Yeah. I'm just worried because I'm in Arizona, so I hope our governor doesn't be a bitch again, because our governor Doug Ducey was a bitch at one point.
He sounds like a bitch.
Well, he was, and then he copied Texas and Florida. It's because we're usually a Republican state, but I don't know what's going to happen.
Doug Ducey?
Doug Ducey.
That sounds like a gay person.
He is a very gay guy, but he's a rhino. But then again, I credit DeSantis. I credit DeSantis.
Like a fucking gay guy.
He sounds like a real gay. But he copied Doug Ducey. Same with Texas and Arizona. That's what happened.
I mean, for me, I stay out of the politics. I don't trust DeSantis as much as I don't trust any of them. But I feel happy for people in Florida that at the moment they feel free.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Arizona. We don't have to wear masks. We haven't for probably a year now. It's pretty good. I hope he doesn't backtrack.
You know what they'll do is they'll do this whole Florida's the ticket to freedom thing, and all the gun-toting conservatives will flee down to the penis of the state, and then the Jews. Hold on, time out. The Jews will whip up the biggest goddamn hurricane anybody's ever seen. 3 or 4 of them in a row, and they will flood that state
to be nice
and kill all of us.
And to not mention. Like for the sake of Sam's show, I was trying not to bring them into it.
Real normal.
I bring them into it every show. It's fine.
They changed the weather.
But I'm just gonna say, what I put on your screen is
Hold
circles
on, what's that?
Omicron, but the last one, February 2023.
Sam, what were you going to say?
It's called Omega.
It better be called O Gamma.
No. Okay, so it's called Omega
It
because
better be called Jesus Comes Back.
okay.
Hold on, God, seriously, Sammy was going to say something. Let
Sorry.
Sammy get it out. He fucking mumbles a lot and stutters. You're muted, Sam. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, well, that's fine. I live in the most Jewy state in the Union, so I'm.
How dare you make me look such a fool? How dare you make me look like such a fool? Stop in the conversation for you to say such an incorrect statement. Davey lives in the most he lives in New York.
Well, yeah, but then see, they all move down here when they get old. So
Connecticut?
No, they vacation down there, Sam. No, Sammy lives in Florida.
Well, ESPN lives down there. It's pretty cool.
Cool. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So
I'm sorry. I joked.
All I was gonna say was Omega is listed last on their list of variants, and 2 weeks ago, Israel ran a drill called Operation Omega, which was a hypothetical variant called Omega that targets children the most, and it being last on the list also goes into Omega. Omicron means 0. It's the first letter of the Greek alphabet.
Right.
Omega is the last letter of the Greek alphabet, and it means the end of a set, the great end. So you get the great reset out of that.
Well, I grew up with the Mayan calendar and Y2K. So
I grew up with the Christian calendar, and it just says no man can know, right? I mean, that's how I grew up.
Well, DeSantis signed an anti-free speech bill, and he didn't sign it in Florida. He went all the way to Israel to sign it.
Israel's a bunch of fucking assholes. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Who knows?
I'm just telling you who he's owned by.
I know. Israel thinks they're a bunch of fucking they think they're chosen people. Blah blah blah. They're a bunch of jerks. I get it.
They're a bunch of jerks, I tell you.
They're a bunch of jerk faces. I tell you that much.
Well,
Gosh,
you guys all saw the clip of Trump almost crying that Israel wasn't in full control of Congress anymore. I saw that.
I mean, Trump came up with the fucking, the vaccine was developed under Trump, and people forget that our current sitting vice president was like, I will not take a vaccine developed under the president, under the Trump administration. And now
I have a hard time at this point believing that Trump will actually, he's going to run again, but
I hope so, because it's funnier that way. God damn it.
And I laugh at it. It's hilarious because people think that he actually cares about people, and he doesn't. He doesn't give a shit about you or me. He's like,
I don't know. I never met him.
I assume he doesn't. Unless I met the guy. I met Mitt Romney once, and I knew that motherfucker didn't care about me. He was like, all right, little fella. Little mid-aged 20-year-old fella. All right.
Well, listen, it might
they just run as the CEO of the corporation.
I think Trump is more like sociable Mitt Romney. That's how I see him. It's like, all right. And he talks a lot of shit. That's all he does. And it's like, all right, he seems more personable.
He might seem more personable, but that's for people to buy into stupid plans like Operation
Yeah.
Warp Speed and think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily trust Trump. I would.
You should never trust any politician ever.
Yeah, I worked in politics. I know. Don't trust any of these people. They're
Yeah, I don't either. Well, Matthew McConaughey is running for governor in Texas now as well. Which, it's which I mean, it's funny to me, but it's also not surprising because now with Trump, we're getting all these celebrities running for office now, and I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
gotta
assume
say,
eventually Oprah will run. It's gonna be weird.
if Matthew McConaughey looked me right in the eyes, with those dreamy eyes, and pitched me at one of his great stories, I mean, it'd be hard for me to say no to that guy.
Well, he wants to sell you a Lincoln Navigator.
I mean, he's just a dreamy guy.
He's a
I
dreaming. Just buy that Lincoln, man.
I do I did love him in True Detective and
I was just gonna say the first season of True Detective might be one of the best shows.
I haven't actually seen that. I need to watch that.
Dude, Sam, that show is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, the first season is good.
Yeah. Just Woody and Matthew, the acting that they put on, especially Matthew McConaughey, like let's not call it a show. The mini series that was the first season of True Detective was.
Oh, dude, I just walked
great.
back in. I just walked back in, and I heard you say Matthew McConaughey's performance in the first season, and I knew exactly what you were talking about. True Detective season 1. Yeah, it's
so
good shit.
good.
I need to see it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I don't watch TV because like I've gone full conspiracy mode, like to the point where like I can't watch movies or TV shows without. Like, if I'm with a
Feeling
girl,
like you're being
I'll
programmed.
do it. I'll do it just because. But if I'm by myself, I can't do it because I start breaking down symbolism and I get in my own head.
Well, I just watch Japanese anime. What the hell? Just like me. Like a weeb.
I don't even know what.
Who's in Japan?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's how they.
Come on.
He's speaking a foreign language to Dave, you know.
I know. I'm just saying. Dude, go watch One Punch Man. That's hilarious. Come on.
I will not.
I will not be doing that.
But every once in a while, there's a great show. Like I enjoyed Black Mirror. I enjoyed.
All right. I never saw Black Mirror. All right.
Enjoyed True Detective. Some of these shows that get backing from some of these major like.
Well,
if HBO backs you and you get free reign to do a lot of stuff, it's gonna come out good.
Hold on, time out.
Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Well, everybody has, and it's amazing.
I might have what might be a shock to most of you, but I have never seen Sopranos from start to finish.
I haven't either, actually. I've seen the first episode. That's all I've seen.
I just started watching it.
The Sopranos.
I'm Italian, so like I had to.
No way.
I'm half Goomba, so
I'd be disowned if I didn't know like a Soprano reference if someone gave it to me and I couldn't repeat it.
Yeah, I'm a Mick and also Native American, so I don't get the Italian thing other than Goodfellas.
Ooh, you're extra dirty.
Goodfellas. I know I'm very dirty.
Well,
yeah, extra dirty.
which is funny, Charlie, because one of my IL friends, was like, "Whoa, I had no idea that you had Adam Carolla on your show." I'm like, I never had Adam Carolla, and they're like, "Well, who's that guy that sounds like Adam?" I'm like, "Oh, you mean Charlie Wilson?" And
really?
Like, yeah,
like Charlie Wilson. Like
No,
Charlie
well,
Wilson,
God.
first name Charlie, last name Wilson.
don't even. Not with fucking Adam Carolla is fucking amazing. I would never.
For, for,
You know what, Sammy? Now that you said it, I could actually hear it. If you tried to do a Adam Carolla impression, Charlie, you could do one very easily.
Yeah, I guess I have that voice, but no, that's ridiculous. Because Adam Carolla is great. I would never. Because he has actual integrity.
But bro, you know what? You don't have to have
Personality.
integrity to mimic someone's voice. You know,
No, but
and yours is pretty close already.
yeah, but I didn't think I sounded like him.
Well,
That's weird.
try to sound like him. You know,
No,
on your
never.
own time. You don't have to do right now. You know, you're in
it.
the spotlight. It's fine. There are
Hey.
19 people watching you right now, Charlie. I don't expect you to
because
perform.
Apex said it.
No, I think Sammy said it too, and his friend said it. See,
Well, fuck
that's three different
Sammy
people.
too.
Well,
well,
you.
I've been told that a lot over the past couple weeks. So you know, comes with the.
Okay,
Sammy,
hold on.
I know.
Mr. Steely says that you sound 4% like Adam Carolla, which is not sufficient.
I don't think
so
I
never mind.
sound anything like Adam Carolla. I don't.
Okay, well, fuck you. Nobody asked you.
Well, I mean,
I'm
all
just telling you
right.
what
I'm
the
just
cat
saying.
said.
I don't think I do.
Anyway, Davey,
I do voice acting every so often, and I have to actually look at I don't look at my own voice. You hear your own voice.
you can look at it.
I have to edit things, and I go, all right, that's how that sounds. All right, and I have to. Yeah, so I don't think I sound like Adam Carolla.
Cool. I don't think any of those things you just said over the last 10 seconds.
For respect to Adam Carolla. Anyway, what the fuck were we just talking about?
Nothing, man. I was just gonna ask Davey what his plans were for the winter. You gonna gear up
Davey.
for when it gets warm, or like what's up? What are you gonna do?
Repeat that.
Like, what's your plans for the cold months? For like your current wave of activism. What are you gonna do?
Well, it gets really bad.
Oh, I know it does.
Snowstorms, all of
I know it
that.
does, man.
I wouldn't want to guarantee a date for a event in the winter months. So I'm planning on putting all my efforts into the spring and gaining the networking of locals and really getting a backing behind me so I can do something big right out of the gate in the spring.
That's what I was looking for. Like, you're gonna use the winter months, the cold months, to talk to people individually, the people that own things that you can network with and shit.
And if it's shocking to you, I'm also in another rebuild.
What do you mean?
Like I constantly get censored or something happens, so I'm constantly in a rebuild.
Oh,
so
yeah, no.
my BitChute channel is doing really well. I'm getting better at archiving, and I'm gonna start streaming more from Odyssey. YouTube was just a temporary thing. My D Live was hacked.
Yeah, I've seen Davey go through probably I think it's second or third channel at this point, and
oh, Charlie, oh, Charlie, you sweet child.
No, because
I've known Dave.
I've had my channel since 2006, and it's bullshit. But
oh wow,
it's bullshit that these people that actually do things.
It's more
I've known
like
Davey since 2017, and between 2017 to 2019, I think Davey went through like 5 YouTube channels.
I know. I saw it happen on Mersh's. I saw the Mersh shit happen where he's like, Davey Crocko keeps getting his shit hit. It pisses me off, man.
Well, I was up to 10 until I gave up YouTube, and the only thing I do on YouTube is record the stream through OBS and delete it right after, and then put it up on BitChute. But now I have mobile streaming. I have a community tab, so it's just a way to. It's just a promotional tool.
Yeah, because I like what you do. I've seen your shit. It's just when it's on Odyssey, or not Odyssey, but the fuck is the other one? The D
Live.
D Live. D Live, thank you. Because I hardly check out D Live anymore. It's it kind of is dying. The Odyssey is coming up, but it's like I wish I could see it like on my TV. That'd be great.
D
Because it's all YouTube.
D Live D Live keeps glitching out for me on on both ends. Like if I'm
Yeah.
like if I'm streaming on D Live, it goes to shit, and then if I'm like just watching as like a user, um like I have to like log in every time and reset my password. It's a
It's
pain.
yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Odyssey sometimes, but I mean, it's a new channel, it's a new thing. I get it, but like, I can actually go to sleep and listen to a podcast when I'm on PlayStation, like on YouTube. But D Live apparently can't get D Live. That's the problem. I think it needs to be more mainstream. It's never going to happen.
Well, what's interesting to me is that like for me, Spotify has actually been the best
Yeah,
platform.
Spotify's cool. Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but pretty soon like Rogan has. I know that Rogan can put his podcasts, the videos up there, but what people might not know is they're slowly rolling it out so that like ordinary people, like peasants like us, will be able to upload video podcasts to Spotify as well in the near future. And
Yeah, you're really good at having video and audio out on Apple and out on these platforms, which I never did.
well, thank you. I mean, I'm originally an audio podcasting guy just in general, and then like ironically, the ironic thing it was one of Owen's people who convinced me initially to get onto YouTube and like start live streaming off of YouTube, and then when the whole unbearable fault happened, all of those bears like unsubscribed, and then you know things have just kind of evolved the way it's gone. But yeah, no, I still I like both, just because I know that sometimes people like to watch, other times people like to listen, like with coffee and whatnot. So
Yeah.
so if Spotify will like allow people to do both, now, like I think that's even
Ideal.
better.
Yeah,
So,
Hold on.
That'd be
Listen.
ideal. Mine is definitely more visual. Uh, what I'm doing. But I have thought about doing some audio podcast off the hip. Uh, just to do it. Just to give it a shot. But
I
my
do have
stream-
another. I do have another. I guess you could call it meme question. But was there Davey? Was there any like abnormal size to Ethan Ralph's head that you noticed? Was it like watermelon esque?
That's kind of funny.
No.
That's
No.
funny.
Okay. There you go, folks.
I'm
Question
telling
answered.
you guys right now. He walked up, normal, really nice guy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shook my hand, introduced myself to his fiance, was real personable, hung out with me for 45 minutes, had a great conversation. I got nothing bad to say about the guy.
I didn't expect you to. I just, look, I have to ask the questions, Davey. You understand,
I don't either. It was just hilarious.
I would tell you.
Yeah, no.
I believe you, man. That's why I ask,
All right, well, I'm gonna take off here for a little. I'm gonna take a piss, but I will be back. I swear to God. All right.
you better.
Well, unfortunately, Unfortunately, I won't because I closed. I had a really rough fucking close because guess what? 5 days of Black Friday and all this other bullshit that retail stores do these days meant for a very rough close for me. And I also open in the morning. It's called a
Apex, I
clopen.
need to
What?
pee.
Go pee, bitch. I'm talking to the audience,
Well, I
motherfucker.
will.
You go pee.
All right. Jesus.
Well,
God damn.
we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, go pee. Don't hold it in like Alex Jones did for 3 hours.
Dude, Alex Jones did the Red Scare podcast.
Honestly, are you comparing me to Alex Jones? No way.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
hold on. Look,
That's
we already
ridiculous.
went out in Corolla and we got your panties all in a bundle. So Sammy just decided to go full board and
No,
compare you to
I'm
Alex
just
Jones.
saying people said I sounded like Adam Carolla, and I do not, sir. Sir.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying you did. My IL friend did.
Whoa, Barrett. Got
Hey,
very
did
robotic.
Ralph smell good, Davey?
That's that is not at all. That is not at all a weird question. So
A man
Look, I'm asking all the meme questions
man
here, man.
asking that question is fucking gay.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
This
Not
is the
you,
internet.
the person in the chat that
It's entirely
did it.
gay. That's
Oh, well,
that would be Mr.
I'm
Steely, and he is an upstanding. He's an upstanding human being, apparently.
I'm gonna go take a pee, so I'll see you guys in a little bit, I guess. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to pee.
cool.
You're allowed to
Yeah,
pee.
go pee, bitch. What the fuck, man?
Hold on,
Come
wait
on.
a second. No, it's not cool.
Yeah, he's out now. It's fine. What a bitch, man. Who pees in the middle of a stream?
Hey, you fucking hold it.
Yeah, you hold it, man.
So-
Come on.
So Apex, before you have to go, this is for both of you.
Sure.
What did you guys think of the fact that we had our first little bitch president this last week, because the little piece of shit president we have was literally getting a colonoscopy, or was that last week? I can't fucking.
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna straight, and I know this because of Twitter. Thank you, Twitter. I'm gonna straight rip this from Royce, and I find it very interesting that that the white supremacist Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of all charges during the short term as Kamala Harris's whatever a stand-in as president. Because that happened. That's when Rittenhouse was acquitted, and according to the media that supports these people, that he's a white supremacist. So why aren't they talking about that? That's what I think about that.
I mean, I'm being 100% serious when I say this. I don't vote, but every election from now on, I'm writing in AOC. If she's on the ballot, I'm rallying for AOC.
Because titties, I'm assuming, or
I just think AOC, Agent of Chaos.
That's what I was gonna say. Chaos, man. I was gonna say Tulsi because
how she just has a way of like the day after the Waukesha thing, she does a bell reform thing. She just knows the perfect way to like push buttons, and I just think it'd be hilarious to see her in the White House and titties.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think AOC is. I think AOC being in the White House would be the equivalent of the Kardashians being in the White House.
I mean, it's just as ridiculous as Trump.
Oh yeah, completely.
Like none of these people are actually doing anything, so why not just have a big tittied fucking AOC hop in?
Well, yeah, but that's also, I think where Apex was going was that's also why Tulsi would would be listen, if the Dems had if the Dems had run Tulsi in 2020, I may have voted for her just
With Bernie? With Bernie?
no, by herself, I mean.
Yeah, as the head of the ticket. Look, and she's also got that incredibly sexy like storm hair thing going, that natural gray streak.
Who would be the vice in that scenario?
Ooh, Donald Trump.
Who was
I
already
don't know.
president?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I'm just thinking of like dynamics of
Throw,
that party.
dude, throw AOC in that bitch. Throw those big titties in that
That's what I
charm
was
in the
gonna
in the
say.
VP. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Tulsi and AOC.
Cross that bridge, man. I'm down with that.
I'm just saying it's something to think about.
The weebs would melt. Oh my god, are you kidding?
Someone said I think
Lines would be
voting in women
crossed.
is your first mistake. Listen,
Yeah, of course.
none of
Well,
these
it would
people.
just
None
be
of these people matter. There's women
yeah, right.
above
It would just be a really hot duo to go down in flames to. You know what I mean?
There's women above the president telling them what to do.
Of course,
so, like,
of course,
it doesn't matter.
of course.
Do you guys remember when, like, because people forget now, but Trump, even before he was president, was always talking about being president. And, like, I remember back in the day, he, like, kept talking how, like, he wanted to run for president and he wanted Oprah to be his VP or something. Like, that would have been hilarious. Just on different levels. So
Just the infighting alone.
yeah.
I mean, because he actually is probably friends with Oprah.
No, yeah.
I know she's in Chicago, but like, I mean, he's a New York liberal through and through.
I mean, he's got a Trump Tower in Chicago, so
and he's just conservative on, in his income and everything like that. But he's the New York liberal.
Davey, if you really want to piss pro-vax people off, this has worked beautifully for me. I have declared Jenny McCarthy the patron saintess of anti-vaxxers, and I don't know why, but anytime you bring up Jenny McCarthy, the pro-vax people just lose their shit, and it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, this was her time with Jim Carrey. I remember all this coming down where she came out. I think the first initial thing that she just wasn't gonna do it to her children, and then she just went on a full mission, and really wanted to be the head of the. I mean, she wants it. She wants to be known as that person.
Well, that's what got her fired from The View, which was the only.
So sad.
Well, yeah, because that was the only reason why guys would watch The View, if they would watch The View at all. So.
Jenny McCarthy, was that the original Singled Out, or was that Carmen Electra?
I believe Jenny McCarthy.
you're muted, Sam.
Any idea what I'm talking about?
I believe Jenny McCarthy was the original anti-vaxxer, and oh yeah, I know who Carmen Electra is too.
God, Carmen Electra.
No, there was a show on
That takes me
MTV
back.
called Singled Out, and one of them was the host.
Yeah, it was Jenny McCarthy and the guy from Midnight, the Comedy Central thing. He got canceled.
Yeah.
The Comedy Central guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
At
All
midnight.
right. All right, time out.
At midnight. Thank you.
All right, listen. I love you fucking nerds. Chat and here in the VC. I love you. I got to go to sleep. But
Yeah.
y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining, Davey.
right.
Thanks for joining, Charlie. Keck
Yeah,
boy, fuck
thank-
you. I'm just kidding. Have a good night. Sammy,
Thanks,
you know I
Apex.
love you. Later, guys.
Later.
Oh, hey, boy. How
Chris,
you doing?
Chris,
I
Chris,
didn't see you there.
Chris Hardwick is who you're thinking of, I think.
Chris
Yes,
Hardwick.
yes.
Yeah.
I am also going to get to bed because I have to be up at 4:30 in the morning.
All right.
Boo.
Thanks for popping on, Davey. So,
I appreciate you inviting me. I appreciate everybody in the chat.
Hey, I love you. I love your show. Where are you on? You're on D Live or?
Yeah, so go to my Twitter at Davey_Crocker. Pinned tweet has all 5 of my platforms.
All right, because I never know where to find you, man.
So just turn on notifications, and
All right.
if you're on YouTube, I have a community tab now. I'll be able to notify people on Twitter, on my Discord, on YouTube. You'll be able to find me. But much love to all you guys. Appreciate you having me on. What's up, Fat Cake Boy? And
Howdy.
And yeah, everybody have a great night. Good night, Johnny. Good night, everybody in the chat. Elizabeth, everybody that I can see. And I'll talk to you soon, Sam.
all right, night everyone, and thanks everyone for tuning in. I am actually going to end this stream and then start the after show stream, which I will start up immediately after this. So
I'll come on. Do you want me to come on the after show? You don't have to have me.
yeah, please do. You're kind of like the after show co-host. So
I know you have me as a host, and that's a lot of responsibility.
Well, I mean, if you being yourself is a huge responsibility, and listen, I'm sure it is, then
Well, it's a lot of. All right, come on, go on, come on. I just wonder if it's okay if I come on.
Any time, man. So anytime.
All right. Well, I'll go on the after show then. I don't.
Alrighty, yeah. We'll be right back with the after show, and for those of you listening on audio, well, if you're listening to the after show, that means you already have subscribed. So thank you.
Yeah, you bunch of jerks. Oh,
So,
sorry.
Anyway, we'll be back, and yeah. So thanks for tuning in to the Whitfield Report, everyone, and we'll see you on the after show. For the rest of you, good night, God bless, and God save this great nation.
God save the Queen. Am I right, guys? No?
Yep.
All right. All right.